Hey folks, Tim Newman with Soft Light Studios, and it's time for another daily assignment. This assignment for July 8th, 2019. Now the title of this assignment is Seeing Red, and we say pick a color, any color, as long as it's red. Didn't Ford use that slogan for the Model T in black? Well, never mind. Make sure you capture a collection of red images and show us your best ones. More than likely, you'll be uploading more than one of these images if you want to be considered for the semi-monthly image critique. Let's see how you do with this hot color. Here's a couple of sample images for you to consider. Now, in this first image, it's clearly all about red, and I was fortunate enough to have the Good Guys car show in Columbus, Ohio this last weekend, and you talk about a target-rich red environment, lots and lots of candy apple reds to be photographed out there on Saturday. This image is all about the red. Now, it is not completely red. There are other things going on in the image, but those other things going on in the image are blacks and grays and chromes. There isn't really any other colors in here. This image is clearly all about the red. Our next image here is a close-up of a grille of a much older car, and I really liked the pattern and the symmetry that was found here in this grille, and it just made a natural close-up for me. And the fact that it's red doesn't hurt either. All right, let's take a look at some of the elements of design that matter to us here. Obviously, color is our most important element of design in this assignment, and that color, as you probably know by now, is red. Now, don't forget the rest of the elements of design. They matter here as well. They are important parts of your picture. Let's take a look at a few more samples. This picture here is clearly all about red. Hard to miss that. Yet, at the same time, we are applying a rule of composition to this picture. We're using a diagonal line to move us across the frame from one corner to the other, and we're using some 90-degree intersections in there in the lower part of that as well. So we are not just paying attention to the red here, we are paying attention to composition as well. Our next image is a little bit of a tribute to cars from days past. And this one seems to have had a little bit rougher life than some of them out at the car show, but I still think it looks pretty cool all the same. Has really nice texture to it, has a really great sense of symmetry to it from left to right. I would say that the geometric balance is spot on, and it's certainly following the rule of thirds. Not to mention, it's covered our requirement for being red. Our last image certainly is not all red, but I think that we could easily make the point that red is the predominant accent color here that is really kind of anchoring the bottom of this image. So I feel that it really does a good job of weaving red into the picture here. All right, let's take a look at the rules of composition that matter to us. The number one rule that we want to pay attention to here is the rule of thirds. And if you think back to every image that we just looked at, I think you would agree that the rule of thirds was present in just about every single one of them. Point of view matters a lot, almost as much as rule of thirds. And if you think about all of these pictures, our position with our camera relative to the shot that we were taking provided us with the ideal perspective on that scene. Last but not least, I think geometric balance is going to be pretty important here. That whole delineation between the foreground and the background. Now, tonal balance is probably going to be easily provided for us by the fact that we're focusing on red and trying to keep other colors out of it. And I think subject balance will work itself in there as well. But geometric balance is where you're likely to have the most control over the images. All right. Make sure, if you are following along and you are adding the pictures to our upload folders for the semi-monthly image critique, that you follow the parameters for file output that you see here, and make sure that you use the naming standard and take a look at the name example below to make sure your files are named correctly. The upload URL is provided below, but as you might recall, we don't ever make you type this. It's below in the description as a clickable link to make it easy for you to submit your images. All right, folks, that's it. We're out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get updates on the next daily assignments as they come out. And remember, as we always say, learning equals skills, practice equals mastery. We'll see you out there.